this is all but done. Pochettino is going to Chelsea, which is something I never thought I would actually say. What is your feeling on that, Mark? Given the fact
it hurts, doesn't it? It's one of the the two clubs you never would have wanted him to go to were Arsenal, and then a close second is Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because of the history between the clubs, but also because of his history with us and Chelsea, like the Battle of the Bridge and all that sort of stuff that every Spurs fan knows about. It hurts a lot more because of that, and I really don't. We were singing after Conte, we were singing his name, even when Stellini was in charge, and hoping that he was going to get it. We were singing his name for several games in a row. There's still a connection there, massively so, for a lot of fans. He brought us some of our best times in modern times. So I think it's a real shame, as Spurs fans. I've said it before. I think on the other hand, like it's tough for you can't really massively blame him. He's getting a lot of stick, but I don't. If anything, I blame us. I blame the club.
Yeah.
Because are we? Because what are we angry about? Are we angry about? This is his job, right? This is his livelihood. I know he's still getting paid a shitload of money, but I don't know that there was many other offers out there for him.
It's unfathomable to me that this has happened. That we need. Firstly, Spurs are in this situation, and Daniel Levy is in this situation where we need a manager or a head coach. But actually, right now, a manager would be fine because we don't even have a director of football. Pochettino, has made it clear when he was previously here at Tottenham that he'd rather work in that model and that system. So for the fans to be singing his name in a stadium over and over again, which I've got views on myself when you have a currently incumbent manager that's there, I have issues with that. But for the fans telling Daniel Levy, this is what we want. I mean, it's not even every fan. There would be fans out there that probably didn't want Pochettino, but in the current scenario we find ourselves in, would settle for Pochettino. And then there's another group of fans that are like, yeah, we'd love to have him back to finish what he started, and to be able to operate at Tottenham without all the restrictions that he had placed upon him when he was previously at the job. So the fact that opportunity has seemingly been missed or ignored, or something went on that Daniel Levy just thought this is never going to work. Whatever it is, we're in a situation now where Chelsea have an excellent manager in Pochettino that hurts because was one of ours. The idea of him ever coming back to Tottenham now is something I can't really palate. I can't stomach that at all. And the weird thing about it is I don't blame him at all either. Like I wished he wouldn't have done it, and I wished he wouldn't have gone there, and I wished he could have said to himself, I can't take this job because what happened at Spurs means too much to me. But we're saying to him, effectively, we don't want you. Yeah. So he's now going to go, well, hang on, there's this club and this opportunity and this great squad and a massive amount of wealth is there. What, I've got to turn it up even though you're telling me I'm not good enough for you. How can you blame him for that?
That's the thing. That's my point. It's the manner that we've done it in as well. And again, all of this is rumors and conjecture and people jumping to conclusions, all that sort of stuff. But if you are to believe all the rumors out there, we didn't even approach him. We didn't even speak to him. He doesn't have agents, so it's not like we could with Nagelsmann. It sounds like we never have actually had an interview with him either. But we've had meetings with his agents to kind of sound out his terms and lots of stuff. We've had nothing with Pochettino, which I get it's harder because he doesn't have agents, but like nothing.
But if he doesn't have agents, he's picking up the phone, right? It's
just fucking just like Dan. Levy worked with him for 3 years.
Dan, yeah,
Danny boy,
yeah.
DL.
Yeah, and apparently
you just fucking text me like, "Oh, mate, quick call on Monday."
Yeah, what do you make of this idea about coming back to Spurs? Look, the fans love you.
Where are you at? What sort of what are your thoughts? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Like, are you still getting paid by PSG? Like, what are the corporate world and the corporate football world? I'm sure are two very different things, but they're not that fucking different. There's still a manager employee relationship in at the end of the day. So at least have some sort of basic conversation or just a touch base. But that sounds like we didn't do any of that.
Well,
Like,
we'll never know, Mark. Right? Why? We'll never know probably unless there's another book written or. So we'll probably never know what in your bit. And I'm. This is a tough question to ask. In your best estimation, what possible reason could Daniel Levy have to think I've got a better opportunity elsewhere? I've got something that I'm working on that is better than Pochettino. What do you think the reason would be that Pochettino is not going to be the Tottenham manager and has actually joined one of our rivals in Chelsea? Can you think of any fathomable or sensible reason why we wouldn't have approached him to be manager of Tottenham again?
Yeah, I mean, the only two things I can think of is A, we've already worked with him, so we know him intimately. He knows the club intimately, the fans know him, all that sort of stuff. But Daniel Levy knows him intimately, and probably, I would imagine, saw some things in the last few months of him being there, which again, it wasn't pretty, but there was reasons why it got to that stage and so on. So I think that probably plays in on him, plays in his mind. Although Levy has been out since and said, "Oh, it feels like there's still unfinished business there," or has spoken up Pochettino's chances of ever coming back. So I don't know how much that weighs. But also, I mean, he's been out of the game for a while. I think possibly, I don't know if PSG was in sort of on the inside of the footballing world. I don't know if that was deemed as a success. I know he won the Ligue 1 and the French Cup and so on and so forth. But
it's the least you can do.
You have to. You have to as PSG manager. So I don't know. I don't know if the rumors around him, sort of internally, behind the scenes, are that, or were that glowing after PSG. So they've probably taken what they had from when he was last here, added it on to the stuff from PSG. Plus the fact that Levy, I think, wants to work with a chief footballing officer and a director of football, and that doesn't really play into Poch's. So I think he's kind of added up those two or three things. I don't necessarily agree with all that sort of stuff, but I think that's how he's gotten to where he is.
The idea of Chelsea fans and then playing excellent football in Pochettino and them singing his magic, like that is something that is Daniel Levy is directly responsible for me.
Yeah.
Like I cannot just. I'm so confused by it. The only thing I can think of is maybe he's at agreement terms, or they're in advanced talks with either Arne Slot, who he's had one good season in the Dutch league with one of the biggest teams there. I know that what he's achieved is good and the football's good. Or Amaron, is that how you pronounce his name? From
Amorim
from Lisbon, which is exciting as well, but I don't know. I can't not see the Pochettino appointment at Chelsea not working. Like, if you look at the situation isn't dissimilar. I know the challenges are different, but it isn't dissimilar to how he took over Tottenham, where the squad was in a mess. We had like a cabal of players that needed to be broken up and moved on, and it just doesn't make sense, and I need Daniel Levy to make it make sense very quickly, because I don't think there is a bunch of fans that are more disillusioned in the top flight than Tottenham Hotspurs right now. I think Southampton fans feel better about their football club than we do. That's not a mental thing to say, is it? That's probably not a mental thing to say. They're going down.
You're probably they got confirmed, as fucking being relegated yesterday after 11 years, I think it was, which is pretty good going. It's the lack of direction. It's this kind of, I think Chelsea 3 weeks ago, before the Pochettino rumors really started sort of hotting up, and that, I think I don't know that they were in a worse place than us mentally, but they fucking should have been, because they were in a lot worse place than where we are. But it's just that, that Pochettino coming in will solve so much for them, and it just, we're nowhere near that.